Well, welcome to another one of my projects, and it's been a knuckle buster because, well, I didn't know what I was doing, and I'm gonna tell you what I found out after finally got this crazy window. Well, let me tell you what I'm working on first. What I'm working on is a 2011 Honda Fit. The electric power window regulator, died on me, and it died in the fully upright position. The window was all the way up, and couldn't get it. I jumpered it and everything. I confirmed that the motor was bad. So my first thought is, okay, I'm going to get this out. Once I get it out complete, I'll see if I can't fix the motor, replace the cable, if there's anything I can repair without buying a whole new regulator assembly. So I went through all the trouble to do that and get it out completely, just to find out the crazy things all sealed up. This is the old one here. It's all sonically welded, I guess. So there's no user serviceable parts. The only thing you do is just buy a whole nother regulator. If I knew that ahead of time, it would have been a whole lot easier. Once I dug into this, I found out the more efficient way to get this thing apart is, once you get the door panel off, just reach in with a pair of side cutters and cut this cable. And let me show you why. Okay, here we are at the door, because I've already got it all apart, because I didn't start filming this from the beginning because I didn't realize what a pain it was going to be. So you can see here, here's the window regulator. And when it's all the way up, you've got these little hooks that hook down into this metal. And there's no way to get that released and let it lower down. There are a couple of screws. Let me try to find it here. Slide it down. So if you slide it down, okay, there we go. So you see, there's these two screw holes. That's what holds the window. Now, now that in hindsight, the easy way would have been to reach in here, cut that cable. Then the window, I could have slowly lowered the glass down, let it line up, take those two screws out. Be careful what you do, because you're going to have the weight of the glass. Then raise the glass back up, wedge it into place. I got me some chainsaw wedges, a little piece of rubber here. That works out real good. I've been driving around a week like this, and it holds perfect. Once you do that, then you can easily get in here with just one hand and pull the assembly out, just like that. So, but I was doing it the real hard way. I finally got it out. I'm making so much noise. All right, I know I'm making so much noise, you can't hear me talk. So I finally got it out, but I had to get in here with my fingers, and it'll barely loosen up these two bolts. I could just get like a quarter turn each time with a wrench. It took me 10 minutes. I finally got the two nuts out, was able to get the whole assembly, but that's a complete waste of time, so don't do that. So if your window has failed in the up position, down position, wherever it's at, just reach in there with a pair of side cutters, cut this cable, then that will free it up. You can manually move the glass up and down wherever you want till it lines up. Take those two screws out, and you can get it out real easy. All right, so hopefully I've kind of explained that halfway decent. Now I'm going to show you some of the testing I did to confirm that this thing is bad, because you want to, before you tear into this project, you want to know for certain this is the bad part. So let's look into that. All right, for the next step, let's find out the fuse location on this 2011 Honda Fit. So you got this little handle hole right here. You pull that down, folds all the way nice and pretty. Now this other little piece here, it snaps under, up underneath there, it just snaps out. And then I have this schematic here where the fuses are. Now I'm trying to remember, it seemed like I remember I peeled this from somewhere and restuck it on. I can't remember originally where its location was, but I remember I moved it for some reason. So you'll have one of these somewhere, but it's still a little bit deceiving trying to look at it and figure out exactly what fuse controls what window. So I've made a little cheat sheet for myself, and I'm going to help you out with it. So let's see if we can see, because what we're looking for is like power window. So that one there, 20 amp, that is the, that is the left rear window. Okay, the next one up here, that is the right rear window. And the next one, that is the right front. Now what is odd is trying to find the driver's side. It's way up here. another 20 amp. Where's it at here? Yeah, power window right there, 20 amp. So let me show you exactly where it's at in the fuse box. Let's try and get some good light in here for you. See if we can see. There we go. All right, let me get a pen. Point this out to you. All right, so this fuse right here, that fuse is the left rear power window. That fuse is going to be the right rear power window. The next one here is going to be the right front, the passenger side window. And then to find the drivers, it's on up here, the other 20 amp. This is the driver's side power window fuse. So before you dig into this, you want to confirm these 4 fuses are good, or whichever window is not rolling up and down for you. You want to confirm that. So that's what I did in my process, and then I started tearing into the door. Once I got into the door, I tested the motor. So let me show you how I did that. Okay, so once you get the door panel off, you'll be able to see this. I'm gonna do it with the new one on the bench because it's so much easier to get to, so I can show you better. But you're gonna see 2 little terminals inside there. You can see one of those. It's pretty dark, but it's in there, I promise. There it is. All right, and just get you some little jumpers like these. Put a clip on that one. We got the other one here. Jumper it. All right, we want to apply 12 volts to it. All right, and these little boxes are great. If you don't carry one of these around with you, you should. You can get these on Amazon. There's a lot of different styles, but they're awesome. And I keep mine plugged up to the cigarette lighter at all times, so it always stays fully charged. So if I have a dead battery, I can jump start it. But it's great for testing stuff like this when you need a good 12-volt source. All right, so let me see what I've got here. So, okay, that's the down position. Let me reverse it. So you reverse it, and then it should go up. There we go. So we know that. So this is the test you want to perform. So you just touch this. Every time you touch it, the window should go up or down. And you just reverse your leads. The window should go up. So if you get the door panel out and you apply 12 volts directly to this terminal and it doesn't work, you know for certain the window regulator is at fault. If it does work, then you got to think about the switch itself in the door. That could be the problem. So you don't want to take this apart if it's not the problem. But this is the easy way to confirm if it's good or bad. Because I did it with the old one, and it was definitely bad. Oh, and another thing just that added to my aggravation, I took the time to download the part of the service manual from Pro Demand to find out that, well, surely the service manual will give me a shortcut on how to get this crazy thing out of there. So here's the service manual if you need to take a screenshot. This part is, door, glass, and regulator replacement. So I printed this out. I thought surely it's going to tell me a quick and easy way how to remove this. And it kind of does give you some instructions, but it's more focused on removing the glass. How to remove the glass, assuming your window regulator is operational. So if you're trying to remove the glass and your window regulator is operational, you can follow these instructions. I'm going to scan them here, so you can just do a printout on each screenshot, and that would work. But this did me no good at all because the window was stuck in the upright position, and there was no tips or tricks saying, hey, if your regulator has quit and it's stuck in the upright position, just cut the cable and drop the window and get the regulator out. So it did not tell me that at all. But it points out the screws that you remove. It's pretty self-explanatory once you get the door panel off without breaking the clips. I'll show you some tips on that too when I get to it. But it did say, apply some multi-purpose grease, and that's what I'm about to do now. It shows you where to apply the grease, because I noticed this new one I got has hardly no grease at all on it. And there's some more instructions. And that was it. So that's all I got. So that's why I kind of had to do it the hard way and figure it out as I went. So I'm going to flip this over. I got me some white lithium spray grease. I'm going to try to carefully lubricate this so it'll give me a good long life. So let's get that sprayed and start putting this together. Okay, you can see where I sprayed a little bit of lithium grease on there. Didn't go too crazy with it. All on the front, all on the back. And then I applied power to it and operated it a few times. Everything works nice and smooth. So now let's try to put this in the car. Alright, here's a tip to make life a little easier for me, because I've got the old one in there right now and I've got it in position where I know it needs to be. So I will take it out. And I will line it up with this one and see how close we are. Looks like we're right on the money. Okay, good. So, because I thought I may have to apply power to this to raise it up and down slightly to get it to line up. So that's in a pretty good position. Now let's see. I'm doing this with one hand. Let's see if we can get lucky and get this installed with one hand. Came out with one hand. So if I can do this with one hand, surely you can do it with two. Alright, so let's get those little hooks in there. Can you see it? Okay, well, getting close. There's one. There's two. Alright. That wasn't so bad at all. So I'll just give you a couple screws up here, a couple screws in the bottom. So and I can still be able to get my screws into the window right there. Okay, another tip. As you get into your project and pull this door off, first of all, you want some of these tools. You can pick these up cheap on Amazon. These little tools, various ones to help you pop these off, because you kind of get an idea how they work. Sometimes they're kind of stuck in there pretty tight. And I had one that cracked on me. And you want to watch, make sure none of these red pieces stay inside the door. If it does, like I had, where'd it go? Okay. So I had this one stay inside the door panel, or inside the metal door, and it popped off. It actually cracked it right here. So I'm going to try to fix that with some polyurethane. If you're not familiar with polyurethane, it's really great stuff. That's what they use to hold in windshields. Because if it'll stick to glass, it'll stick to about anything. So I got me some polyurethane here. I'm going to fill this up. Then I'll stick that in there, and that should, because when it cures, it'll be really hard, like the plastic. So I shouldn't have to have any problems with that in the future. Now again, I'm trying to do this one hand. Well, come on, camera, get you in view. There it goes. All right, that's where it's supposed to be. And I'll put some more in behind it. Then I'll let that dry a little bit before I put it on the car. There we go. That'll give it a lot of strength. I'll wipe off the excess here in a second. All right, while I'm letting this dry, I thought I'd point something out, because this is really strange to me, and I'm assuming I know what it does. This is like a little plastic box inside the door. It's got a little opening down here. I mean, it's not, see, there's nothing on the back side. There's nothing that you can store in there. It's just a small little air box of some sort. So one thing I can assume it's got something to do with noise cancellation or something like that, because I understand you got stuff here. It makes sense. That makes sense. Some foam. It's kind of really strange, but that is pretty odd. But that's just wanted to point that out. Maybe someone can explain to me what that thing does. Just a little plastic box inside the door. Just another mystery as we work on stuff. Alright, so once again I apologize. I know we're going to play this video in reverse, I guess, to disassemble yours, but here we go on the assembly process. You know, we got 5 10mm bolts. I've got them all 5 started before I tighten them up. Alright, so I'm going to get these all 5 snugged up, and then we'll release the glass from those wedges, and we'll see how that works as far as getting it to line up with this the 2 bolts down below right here. Let me get these tightened up. Okay, remember how we bench tested the regulator? Now I'm gonna show you how you test it when it's in the door. So I've already got my wires connected to it, if you can see. So I got the two little jumper wires going directly to the motor, and then I've got one wire I connected to the positive. Remember, it doesn't matter because just one goes forward and one's reverse, or one's up and one's down. So when I touch that, you see it goes up. It's a good test. All right, now I'm just going to reverse it, and we'll take it back down. Take it down to the screws line up. All right, so now that's a good spot right there. So my screws line up good. All right, so we'll put the screws in the window and give it a couple more tests once everything's tightened up. So once again, just get your 10mm socket out. Come along. There we go. Get it snugged up. Don't have to get crazy, just get it snug. All right, so that's tightened up. The regulator's tight. I got my wires jumped. So before we go putting the door all back together, let's test it to go all the way up and all the way down. All right, it's all the way down. Now let's go all the way up. Let me see here. So there's all the way down. Now let's go all the way up. Okay, sounded good. Now let's go all the way down again. Now I noticed it doesn't go all the way down, but maybe that's normal. So let's find out. Let's test the other window, see if it goes down to the same distance. Okay, let's test, make sure we're both the same. Let me get the right window. There we go. So you can see it works the same. See the distance on this one, even though it's all the way down. That one is the same. So all right, we got that part done. Okay, so the tab goes up on this. So if you're taking yours apart, to get that out, you're going to have to push on this tab good and hard to release it so you can pull it off. It's kind of dark back here. I have to kind of go by feel, but you should have a good click. There you go. So that's connected good. All right, that will go inside. That wire will go inside the door. We got this handle here. You gotta watch this sticky stuff. It is a real mess. You can see I've got it on the side of the car. I gotta get me some cleaner and get that off. So, okay, we gotta plug this up. A few odds and ends. All right, so let me fish this cable and stuff up through somewhere. Let me get two hands on this one. And while you're putting this plastic up, you can pretty much see by the sticky line, you can get it lined up pretty good. Get your holes lined up. This here goes like that. All right. And then you got these little plastic plugs. There's two of them that kind of helps hold it in place. Got another one down here. Goes like that. Okay, I wedged this up here out of my way because it kept tugging on the plastic. So that's a good little tip. And when you take this loose, it has to shove forward. There's little clips right here. So push forward, then it pulls out. Okay, we got a mount speaker. And that is the lightest little speaker. Where'd that thing go? Don't weigh nothing. There it is. That little bitty, because you know these little cars are all about saving weight. And because it's, you notice it's only held on with one screw. You got two clips in the bottom, one screw. So let me connect my wire up and get that mounted. So, of course, another tip, when you're pulling the speaker out, you take the screw out and then lift straight up on it. Because you can see how that's made. It's going to slide in behind this piece of metal. If you pry straight out, you're liable to break it. Alright, so get in there. There you go. Just slide it down. Got one long screw. That looks like an 8mm or Phillips screwdriver. I got one here somewhere. Alright. Getting really close. Look over everything. I think I'm ready for the panel. And so it's definitely going to take two hands. And I'll feed this through this opening. Let's try that next. And I got to connect that up, of course, before I do that. Okay, back to trying to show this with one hand. So I've got it in here. I've got that wire poked through. I've got this coming through loosely. And just lift it up and drop it down into the top rail. And then let's look around, make sure we're lining up with those pins. Where's it? Come on, camera, focus. There you go. See how that red pin lines up with that hole? Another one down there. I'll see what's going on over here. Yep, everything's lining up. Oops, get my big finger out of the way. Alright, so get things lined up. Just give it a little push. Alright, that sounded good. It's like a plastic model car. They just snap together. Alright, got that in there. Okay, we need to plug up our switch. There we go. There's a switch right here. Now I can actually, all right. Look at there. Whoa! It actually works. And they said it couldn't be done. All right, what else is left? I gotta tighten this up, put that little panel on there, and heck, this will be over with. So, once you get the panel snapped on, there's only two screws. You got one screw right here, one screw right here. So if you're doing this in reverse, taking it apart, just remember those two screws, and get you some of these tools here to work around this plastic to get it snapped loose, with hopefully not without breaking anything. Doing it on a warm day helps. Cold weather makes it a lot more difficult. Now we've got these little clips to deal with. Got to get this back on here without breaking anything. So it looks like we come in from the top and kind of roll it down. It looks like we got a back piece here in the back. All right. There it goes. Like I said, the whole thing just snaps together like a model car. And it still works. Well, I got no screws left over, so I think that's pretty good. All right. Oh, well, wait a minute. I forgot something. Another place to snap on here. Right there. Come on, baby. Let me get two hands on that. Oh, I found my problem. It's a little clip right here. See, when you're taking this stuff apart, you never know which way to push, pull, or twist sometimes. So we need to get it hooked on that first. I do believe. Okay, get that hooked first. Man. There she goes. That. Let's close the door. Come up front. Make sure these work like they're supposed to. Alright. Up and down. Well, I guess that concludes my little fix. Sorry you have to play it in reverse to take it apart. But maybe it'll save you some time now that you know a few tips and tricks that I've learned doing it the hard way. Well, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great day. See you, bye.